What's approaching the supreme moment, reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? So I haven't really had a chance to properly showcase this unit. I've had him rainbowed for a while, but since I finally did pull the Android 17 Android category lead, it's about damn time to showcase this unit. I think this guy's pretty underrated in my opinion, and at Rainbow this guy is pretty decent. I went with kind of a balanced approach with level 9 additional attack and level 12 for criticals, but he does have a restriction with the passive, so you do only want to bring him on certain conditions and whatnot, and we'll cover that here in a second. But I think this guy's pretty underrated. He's a pretty decent unit. I do run him a lot on Battlefield and stuff like that. Not necessarily Battle Road because of the passive skill, but you know, overall this guy's a decent unit, and he's definitely a good enough unit to run on certain teams. Like Extreme Intelligence is probably the team I run him on the most out of all of them because of strictly using it on Battlefield. But let's go ahead and cover the stats and we'll get into more of the details. This is obviously the Hellforged Warrior Extreme Intelligence Hell Fighter 17. You don't really hear about this unit too much, like I said, and I feel like this unit is definitely a little bit underrated and overlooked in a way. So leader skill is intelligence and physical type Ki plus 3 HP attack and defense, 30% increase. Super attack is going to cause supreme damage with a rare chance to stun the enemy. The passive skill is an attack increase of 90% and Ki plus 2 when facing only one enemy. So again, great passive skill with a 90% increase to attack and also Ki. You're always going to get that super attack for the most part. It's never been a problem for me, but the only restriction is the fact that it's only when you're facing only one enemy. So keep in mind, Super Battle Road or any events with multiple enemies, this guy is not going to have that passive skill active. So definitely not a good choice for Super Battle Road for obvious reasons, but in terms of Battlefield, like I said, I run this unit a lot on the Extreme Intelligence team when I run certain stages. He does very well. Ki, you know, that Ki plus 2 definitely does help too. So I think it's a pretty solid passive skill, and it definitely shows when it's active. Link skills, he's got Android Assault, that is going to be 1,000 increase to defense. Fear and Faith is plus 2 Ki. Brutal Beatdown is 10% increase to attack. Nightmare is 10% increase to attack. Shocking Speed plus 2 Ki. GT is plus 2 Ki, and Fierce Battle is 15% increase to attack. Only falls into one category, unfortunately, which is the androids. So that's why I was able to finally showcase this unit, since I finally pulled the Android 17 category lead. Alright, so maxed out, you're looking at HP of 13,761, attack of 13,381, and defense is 9,491. 12 Ki Multiplier is 135%. Just for the FYI, you can farm this unit's SA from the excuse me, from the story event where they have the Hell Fighter 17 that drops. The one that has like the high chance to dodge from its passive skill. You can actually farm this unit's SA with that drop unit. So that's pretty much what I did. Actually, no, I actually did feed him like highs because I rainbowed this unit like way back before the androids category was even a thing. So it might have been like early last year when I rainbowed him, but I can't remember exactly. Again, this unit's pretty decent. As long as the passive skill is active, you're looking at attack stat potentials of upwards of 1 million and plus. So definitely the numbers do get up there. Given, you know, we are talking about the Android category lead, so they get a substantial boost to attack. Not only that, but you're looking at units that I did pair up with, like the World Tournament Perfect Cell unit. Provides a decent Ki boost and 30% to attack and defense. Also reduces super type enemies defense by 50%, so it definitely does provide a pretty big boost. The Android 21, the free-to-play version, also does provide 30% to Android category allies as well. So the unit is getting a lot of help, but at the same time, I want to pair up units like that with the showcase unit. You know what I mean? Just test out the full potential of the unit itself. And this Android 17 obviously does provide defensive boosts as well. Nothing toward attack necessarily, but you know, the defense definitely gets some help out of it. So this is probably one of those good rotations where you've got the passives for every unit, but the problem is the link skills necessarily aren't the greatest between these three units. Like, you're better off linking it with you know, the future Android 17 or the Android 17. I didn't include certain units like Super 17 or some other form of you know, those types of units, but I kind of wanted to keep in units that provided some sort of support as well, in addition to some of the other units. I did include the Intelligence Perfect Cell just to provide a different option to pair up with, you know what I mean? So I do personally like that unit, so every chance I get to use them, you know, I'm going to include them too, so that's probably another reason. But again, overall, as long as you're only fighting one boss at a time or one enemy at a time, you're going to see some pretty good attack stats overall. And I guess we'll have type advantage here with the Dokkan mode, so we'll find out how he does exactly with the damage. But defense is good, linked up pretty well with Android 17, and Perfect Cell is providing additional defensive boosts. So yeah, overall this unit's pretty good. Again, he's definitely underrated, in my opinion anyway, because I use him a lot, surprisingly, and Battlefield is probably the main area that I use him. Like, I'll actually place him above, you know, certain other extreme intelligence units that are pretty good too, just because, you know, if you know you're only fighting one enemy, this guy is worth including because you don't have to rely on necessarily key links to guarantee a super. You're already getting a +2 on top of, you know, +3 each from each leader, and then on top of that he gets a 90% increase to attack. So in my opinion, he's definitely pretty reliable, and he actually does hit for a decent amount, and link skills aren't that bad. Like, I mean, he's got Fear and Faith, Brutal Beatdown and Nightmare, Shocking Speed, and Fierce Battle. Those are all pretty common link skills that a lot of the extreme type units share. So I've never run across a problem with this unit of you know, getting the key to guarantee a super. It hasn't really been an issue for me. Like, so it's definitely a decent unit overall. It's got a great overall, I guess, package to it. You know, it's got decent attack stats from the passive skill, you know, with the 90% increase. The key boost is also great. The link set's pretty good too, and you know, the super attack, even though it causes supreme damage, it does decent enough, and it also does have a rare chance to stun the enemy. You rarely do see that, but it does kick in every now and then. This is a pretty good rotation I like. I like to link this Hellfighter 17 up with the future Android 17 unit. The Android 17 future version is also a pretty good one too. I do have him at, I don't know, I think he's close to 90%, almost at max. I could max him, I just haven't invested the orbs for the last spot. But everything else he's got, I think, all the dupe pass unlocked, so he's also a pretty good unit too. Yeah, this Perfect Cell unit's pretty good too. Eventually, he'll become available in the you know, card pool within the World Tournament banners. Right now, I don't think he still is, but yeah, he's definitely a good supporting type unit, and I mean, he can hit for a decent enough. I went with like a level, I think it was level 12, level 14 setup with the additional attack and criticals, and you know, he can hit, you know, anywhere from 400 to 500,000 depending on the enemy. So that's a decent enough amount to where, you know, it helps out in addition to his ability to support the overall team, in my opinion. So he's definitely not a bad unit. I think 1.1 million potential output with this guy is definitely a decent amount. Yeah, it's definitely acceptable, and events like Battlefield, where I commonly use this unit, it definitely does help out. I'd rather have this unit in the team than some of my other picks. Like, sometimes I'll even opt out of using the Buhan unit, or at times even Angel Golden Frieza, because, you know, I know this guy will get a super attack within Battlefield, and obviously within Battlefield you want to guarantee as much damage as possible as quickly as possible. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the mindset with that a little bit. So I guess that was about 2.5 million. Was that Dokkan mode? I'm pretty sure it was, but I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at the time. So this is going to be a type disadvantage throughout, but let's see, you know, how he does. I mean, it's going to be low, so about 255,000. But you know, we are facing the LR Gogeta Dokkan event and having type disadvantage. So I mean, that's not really outside the realms of reality. You know what I mean? And yeah, we'll just close it out with the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta event. Because it is a type advantage as well, and you're only facing one enemy. So yeah, this is a good stage to wrap things up and see its potential. But I mean, hopefully for those that haven't really heard much about this unit, hopefully this kind of shows you that this unit can be actually utilized in a pretty good way, and it's actually a very useful unit at times. So again, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and certainly appreciate you watching. I'll be working on some other stuff, and hopefully check it out as well. Alright, peace out.